Vampire Esports, a team who were branded the kings of world invitationals. Untouchable, unstoppable.
Taken down, no further will they go. Gosu from underneath, does damage, but no more than that. Yang Wan stays alive. Vampire get the final knocks there, the final points. Two teams now remain, and there's knocks already. Jing trying to stay alive, but Vampire looking to shroud the lobby in darkness. And they'll be able to take everybody down. From the northern side, they play slow, they play efficient, and they devastate the lobby.
But when it comes to the global championships, cheers turned into whispers. They are chokers.
And in comes the rally. Vampire going all in on one play. Swipes over the first, and it's now D+ to try and hold it out. It's going 1-for-1. Oh, South there, and they're lighting him up. Vampire are falling in the face of it. Stone is there to try and hold it down. The last player alive for Vampire against Nobu in the backline. He's low, he makes the cross. It's a 1 versus 1 for their tournament lives. He's trying to play in the strength for Vampire. He has got that first aid. It's ticking away. A nade for Nobu, but D+ displays spoiler. He's got an ankle. It's out wide, but no.
But it wasn't always the same from the start. PMGC 2022 saw Vampire Esports pull off the greatest comeback of PUBG Mobile history. The 16th place team, struggling for kills, watching rivals pull away, failing to find the rhythm, jumped all the way to the 6th place in the final day. 3 wins out of 6 games. A leap from 16th to 6th that nobody saw coming.
Right into the sidelines of Vampire. Godlike Stalwart getting cut down, and it's chaos. Another potentially on the cards now as Vampire move in. All 4 of them are alive and kicking, and it is a second game on the cards. They just need the last, and it is Vampire Esports.
This isn't just another recap. It's the story of the day Vampire Esports pulled off the greatest comeback in PUBG Mobile history. Vampire's run throughout 2022 was nothing short of legendary. They looked invincible. They streamrolled PMPL Thailand to claim the first place and then stormed into SEA Championships ring and grabbed the 2nd place. These strong showings in the regionals helped them qualify for the World Invitationals, and their performance in the World Invitationals was flawless. The performance which proved that Vampire has built one of the best rosters ever. Stoned, Schweppes, Ravenclaw and Fluke took over the world by storm.
They had a game plan right in this lobby. They knew exactly what their game plan was. Getting good positions when we're in a good position. The eliminations, they come on their own. They played to that down to a T, and it clearly worked out. They got first place, right?
It's been a spectacular run from them. I mean, from the very word go all the way to this last match as well. I think that when you look at their performance across, as an average even across all these 3 days, they have stood out above the rest here. So absolutely spectacular. I've just finished doing a tournament in Thailand as well. The fans are going to be going absolutely radio rental for everything that they've just been able to accomplish here. They should be very, very proud of this team.
They dismantled every opponent. None of the teams came even close to matching Vampire Esports in the World Invitationals. They lifted the main trophy, then swept the after-party showdown. Vampire had shown a performance which literally sounded impossible.
And Stone actually finds Yusef, and he can't quite hit the shots. That takes him down to 2. Vampire Esports are making this happen.
10 eliminations up to 11 as Never Alone gets tagged. In they go with the push. Fluke up to the feet as well. Never Alone knocked. It's all down to powerful for Falcons, but the Vampires running up the hill will be able to take it down.
Valuji being able to get the knock. He lays down. He does get knocked by Stone. Can Vampire Esports clutch this up? They currently do have the numbers. You can see Gaddafi right there, the only man standing for Virtual Gaming Squad, trying to clutch it up for them. Stone with the grenade, cooking it. Can he get it?
There you go! Sarang and Sprayguard is trying to make this clutch happen. But if they can confirm... Oh,
Ravenclaw getting knocked there by Sprayguard. It's now going to be Schweb. Can Schweb clutch this up? We've seen some 1v2s before being clutched up. He's spotted. He's going to get knocked down. Fluke actually being able to get one knock. It's Vampire Esports, ladies and gentlemen, being able to get the win. The final match of PMWI after party showdown. They clutch it up. They show why they are the champions of week 1 and now the champions of week 2. Vampire Esports absolutely shocking.
But PMGC is a different beast. The most prestigious and the most competitive tournament of the year. The top 50 squads on Earth battling for supremacy. So it wasn't going to be easy as the World Invitationals. But as the first timers, their start to this PMGC was pretty impressive. A 5th place finish in the group stages, and that too in a group filled with some of the world's best teams. and the defending champions Nova.
Brutal so far, but they might be drawn short here. It's dead
Oh my
Vampire
God.
and down one.
Oh my
Duking it out,
God.
back and forth, down one, moving as a unit, but they left Sung behind. They're trading it off one-on-one. Shirty's in there. He's lighting them all
Making
up.
time.
They're all worried about each other, but they should be worried about Shirty. He's shutting it all out, and he is going to hold the outside.
Oh!
Finally dealt with. 1 versus 1.
Oh!
Wound is there, and he takes it. Vampire, bring it back. It's back and forth. It's crazy. It's wild, but in the end, the Vampires weather the day.
But it wasn't enough to secure a direct spot in the grand finals. Instead, they earned another shot through the survival stage and the last chance bracket. And Vampire saw them as invaluable to gain some experience and understanding of the lobby as the first timers. They already had the momentum coming into this PMGC, and these extra few matches looked advantageous in every way. Of course, if they managed to qualify for the grand finals.
Players alive for Titan, but 4 for Vampire, and they're looking to turn it up. Titan getting cut out as well. Pieces low for Besiktas, but they make it into top 3 as Reject now with a duo. Vampire with 4. They've been holding behind this ridgeline for so long, but now they're going to move on out. They execute on their final strategy, their end game. And 11 eliminations so far, racking it on up. And Peace, the last player to stand in their way, will be bringing in that 12th point for them. And a chicken dinner for Vampire. You can see the elation in this squad. From the bottom of the tables, a necessary time to stand up.
Third place in the survival stage and second in the last chance. Vampire now looked dangerous, in form and ready to dethrone Nova and become the champions. They had the hunger for victory. Vampire would be facing the top 16 teams of the world. It wasn't going to be easy, but Vampire were having the best time of their life. They entered the arena to thunderous applause to become the new champions. And the cheers erupted when Vampire stunned the world by upsetting Nova in the very first match.
Towards the team that is currently defending, Vampire Esports, on the other hand, this may be a different team, a different type of beast altogether.
Jimmy did go down in the process, so 2 players alive now for Nova. A knock went over towards Vampire earlier. Schweppes puts a nade through the window to back him off the angle.
It's beautiful!
But it goes long and through the door. Paraboy runs right on into it. King now needs to reposition. GeekFam might be able to stay alive off the back of this knock. King dropping those smokes, allowing himself to cross, making sure that he has the cover. Fluke cannot really go for this full aggression just yet. They have to be worried about GeekFam as well, but the hillside's now controlled. King in for the res, but in comes Stone and Ravenclaw in the vehicle. In through the window, pulls the ordnance, and there they go. Nova down and out in the first match.
But that was really the only time Vampire fans had a smile in their face. As the matches went on, the losses piled up, wipeouts after wipeouts, and by the day's close, Vampire slumped to the 15th place. Devastation set in. Speculations were made that maybe the first-timers had to deal with a lot of pressure and they will bounce back the next day. But day 2 delivered no reprieve. Instead, Vampire tumbled further, ending the day rock bottom at 16th. Hopes were shattered for the World Invitational Champions. Their performance dipped game after game. Comeback from here, from this situation, looked impossible. But who knew that the next day, Vampire would pull off the greatest comeback PUBG Mobile has ever seen. Day 3 opened with fresh nerves, but Game 1 offered no mercy. The Vampires were thrashed again. But the second game showed a flicker of hope. A 4v4 duel against IHC. Down a man, yet Vampire surged.
Pretty invincible over on that side, taking that fight not only towards Stalwart, but also towards Inco. Alex though, what a disgusting spray coming through. Finds at least 2, IHC really struggling, but Ravenclaw last alive for Vampire. Tries to finish off the fight, 1v1 available.
Ziol, last standing, a sliver of HP, first aid allowed, but the res coming through potentially from Ravenclaw. Fluke will be the target, and the res is coming through from both of these rosters. Nova, in the meantime, are still all alive. Looking to try and keep themselves going. Ravenclaw around the edge, has got a teammate back in, and Ziol falls. IHC eliminated.
A rare win, but more importantly, a shot of confidence. They couldn't do much moving forward in the game, but this win against IHC was all they needed to wake up. Game 3 exploded. Vampires were off to an amazing start. They clashed with Buriram in a fierce 4v4 and dominated entirely.
Behind Alpha 7 now in 5th place. Really will take something special for them to get towards the top. Budoram back in that conversation, John.
Crashing into Vampire's position, 1 and 2 fall. 9AP will be joined by Sky Only as well. Third player to fall for Budoram. And Vampire, this is a solid hold. They've managed to allow them to step into the Lion's Den. And they will keep on going. Bottom of the tables for Vampire, but even they have so much power to play with, Blank. It is so difficult to make headway in this lobby. And finally, they're able to pick up the points against Budoram. 4 eliminations. They crossed that 60-point threshold.
Then a battle with Alpha 7, and though Cadillo almost clutched them out, but it wasn't enough. They then clapped the entire 4AM squad, and it all came down to the final 3 teams now. Vampire had to take on Wolves in a 4v4 battle.
Wolves versus Vampire, and Vampire up on high. But it's a 4v4, an unlikely setting here on Sandhawk that we see this type of engagement. Both sides own some cover. There's a row between both of them. If Vampire want to end up in the top 8 today, like Sir Tanny was saying earlier, the coach from the team, this will have to be the clean 1v4. 4v4.
They started the game on none 157.
That is true.
So they are going to need to...
Most teams are on the hundreds and somethings.
Exactly. So hopefully with this game, 14 eliminations, they're looking to put more up as well. They might even challenge the 18 elimination game we've seen already today, Blank. Coming on through, but Pick Feet has other ideas. Memory has fallen in the meantime, so 2 players active for the Wolves. 15 eliminations on the card for Vampire with 3 more left to gain. 1 more now stands between them and the chicken dinner. It is Vampire from the bottom of the tables. The looks of relief on their faces as they pick up an 18 elimination chicken dinner. 33 points on the game. That'll see them up to 90 points now, Blank.
An 18 eliminations game for the Vampires. Add them with 15 placement points and it's a total of 33 points. This game finally pulled Vampire from the bottom of the tables. Nobody expected that from a team that had been struggling, and yet there it was. Now the 4th game was on Erangel. Vampire started off slow and the circle was a Pachinki finale, an urban finish. Vampire held their position till the end and engaged in their first teamfight with the table toppers S2G.
In his own right, King Kengzo, we called him during the group stages for Budoram. See what he can get done here. Vampire nades over the top, laid into S2G. Silas out the window, escapes from punishment on that one, but that's a lot of damage sent in, and into the Molotov from Schwepp. Has to get burnt down on the cross. The smokes are there, sure. Now it's just 2 players for S2G. 5th place finish, not ideal, but they will take it. 10 eliminations.
It then all boiled down to a 3v3v3 in the heart of Erangel. Stalwart, GeekFam, and the Vampires. A win in this game will see Vampires do a massive jump in the leaderboards.
On the south side, Schwepp gets caught. U-High is good for 1. A high elimination game for GeekFam so far. Nades on in from Vampire towards the godlike stalwart line. Schwepp repositioned towards to go for the res from Fluke. And Nade not really going to punish it here, but Mike has already taken a lot of damage. Ravenclaw, high ground, on the 2nd floor of the building. Snipes around the corner, sneaks
Stalwart,
back
though.
on in. Godlike stalwart can start to move through in the back because GeekFam have been punished at the front.
no!
And action is going to start to tick away. Snipes the only one to fall on. GeekFam Micah has the nade, but floods out the front and right into the sightlines of Vampire. Godlike stalwart getting cut down, and it's chaos. Another potentially on the cards now as Vampire move in. All 4 of them are alive and kicking, and it is a 2nd game on the cards. They just need the last, and it is Vampire Esports. They have hit their stride. Is it too late?
I don't know if it's too late, man. There's potential here for Vampire Esports.
8 eliminations and again 15 placement points. A 23-pointer game took the Vampires all the way to the 8th place in the overall standings. But they were not done yet. The Vampires were still hungry. They wanted that top 5. Vampire started off strong again. They completely overpowered Stalwart. But a third party from 4AM took down 3 of the Vampire players, leaving Ravenclaw as the only one alive. He couldn't move much forward into the game and the Vampires were eliminated early this time. This early exit resulted in a drop in the leaderboards, but with one final game still remaining, Vampires still had the chance. They needed a blockbuster performance to break into the top 5. The battlefield for Game 6 was set. Vampires, once again, took it slow. They didn't want to mess up in this last game, and when just 9 teams remained, they engaged with Alpha 7 in a decisive fight, eliminating them entirely. The only potential champions right now were eliminated, and S2G had no one to fight with them for the championship. They sat at the top, far away from anyone's reach.
Able to overtake them. Godlike stalwart maybe, and in comes Alpha 7 for the run. Vampire looking to hold them off and maybe play spoiler. The Brazilian roster fall apart, and it's Vampire to pick them up. That might be it. S2G have no one else. Is there no one else?
Nova then takes them down, and on the other side, Vampire takes down Wolves, leaving Nova and Vampire the final 2 teams to clash in a 3v3 for that one last win in the final game.
Will hand over the title. But at least show them that there's still other teams out there that can take it to them. Despite that, S2G went through the ringer to even get to that stage, and 15 eliminations. Zone 9, Vampire looking for the turkey today, but we've already found our turkey right at the top. And now Nova looks to close this one out. That's another one down. Vampire looking for the third. Paraboy is extremely low. Schweppes just has to find a little bit more. Pushed in by the smoke, and that will be it. Vampire take their 3rd chicken of the day.
6 games on day 3. 3 wins, 97 points, a 10th-place jump from dead last to 6th. History had been rewritten. Vampire Esports didn't just survive PMGC 2022. They defined what it means to never give up. This was the story of the greatest comeback of PUBG Mobile history.